On this episode of 10 Skill Squad, the Shredder's back. What's up, 10 Skill Squad? This thing used to have underbodies on it, didn't it? Didn't it used to have LED, like red LED lights on it? This, of course, is the Redcat Shredder. Love this thing. This thing is OG to the channel. It's the first ever 4S car I ever had. Yeah. It was the first 6th scale car that I ever had. And it is so much fun to drive, but she's in a bad way.
I don't think we've ever maintenanced it.
No. Lost the center diff in it, lost the servo in it, but put the heavy duty diff in it, put a new steering servo in it, and it's been pretty much fine ever since. Cow RC recently reached out to us and sent us a care package full of all kinds of good stuff to help maintain and just, repair your RC car. And it got us to thinking, what is the most neglected truck that we have? And it's probably this.
Definitely in the top 3.
Yeah, so in this video, we are going to go through this thing and bring it back to life. And then we're going to go out and probably break it again.
Make it look exactly like it does now.
Only better. We have got some things to address. The front bumper is broken. The radio system wasn't even in it as of a few minutes ago. The steering is super loose and sloppy.
Bad.
The shocks are just, you can bounce this thing like a basketball.
The fronts are actually not bad, but the rear is just...
So we have been neglecting this thing for far too long. We are going to go through it, and we're going to make it maybe even better than it's ever been. What do you think?
Probably not likely, but we'll give it a shot.
We'll give it a shot. So while Ethan gets to work doing all the hard stuff, we need to replace the front bumper. We don't have one. However, we do have the Redcat Earthquake, which uses the same front bumper and the same, the rear bumpy is exactly the same as the frumpy bumpy. The Earthquake hasn't run in quite some time, so it's not gonna miss this, right? We can pull this off. And we set about tearing down the Earthquake to harvest some of its parts and the shredder for what we thought was just gonna be some routine maintenance and minor repairs. Little did we know, the further we dug into the shredder, the more problems we would find. But since we had the Earthquake on the bench, I decided to throw some fuel in it and play one of our favorite games, Will It Start? Oh! I'm gonna say that runs. Ethan tore down all the shocks that were not only likely low on oil from the factory, but the oil that was in them was dirtier than my ex-girlfriend after like 3 White Claws. Seriously, this was long overdue. We cleaned up the shocks with some soap and water, organized the teenager's bedroom mess of wires in the thing, and got ready to fit the brand new body that's been sitting in the shop for the last like 3 years. We used some Cow RC surface cleaner wipes to get the inside of the shredder looking brand new again, and it made the whole thing smell like oranges. We tightened up the steering linkage to remove all the slop in the steering. I know the servo is getting weak, but YOLO, might as well use it until it's completely donezo, right? The shredder was finally starting to look fresh as fuck, so we decided to give it a test trip, and that's when we discovered we had a ton of work left to do. So as we're going to put it back together, Ethan is spinning the drive shaft and the front wheels. No turny. No turny. That means front diff is maybe not stripped, but definitely weak.
Gone.
And what about the rear?
Oh, Oh, that one I can't twist like that. Oh, I'm getting a half a turn out of it before it engages.
Oh, crap.
They gone.
That sucks. The front and rear diffs are much more difficult to get out, too.
Yeah, it's all of it.
Oh, dang.
It is all of it.
Dang, dude.
Yeah.
Since we had the center diff apart anyway, we decided to rebuild it just to see if that magically fixed the issue that we were having. Place your bets on whether or not that worked. Now this is the right technique.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh yeah, we've got all the ingredients now.
We got all the ingredients for a disaster. I can't wait to blow one of these across the parking lot.
Ooh, good call. Yeah, let's try to avoid that. We're breaking out the old Lucas Oil red and tacky.
That's right.
Dude, if I've said it once, I've said it a bunch of times. Get yourselves an Ethan. Look at him going in there gloveless.
That's right.
Unprotected into the goo. That's it, boy. Oh, nice and
Get
deep,
in there
man.
real deep, man.
So Ethan's got a hold of it, and with just a little bit of throttle, yeah, this is, well, she might be done ski. It was back under the knife for the old Redcat. Luckily, we have tons of Redcat parts in stock, and finding some replacement diffs was not an issue at all. We fixed the diffs on our Wrenchin' Wednesday live stream, where we hang out with you guys and talk shop while we attempt to fix things. If you like 10-scale shenanigans, get the bell on and come hang out. With the new diffs installed, center diff rebuilt, electronics rewired, new radio, rebuilt shocks, new frumpy bumpy, all the bearings lubed, new body, and a good cleaning, it was finally time to rip the shredder one more time. The thing has never wheelied before, but it wants to so bad. Every once in a while, yeah, every once in a while you can see it really wanting to, but not like a big, giant wheelie that we can ride out. So one thing that we've never, ever done with this thing is a speed run. And now, I guess, is as good a time as ever to do one before we break it, and it goes back on the shelf for another 2 years. Yeah, something like that.
Sounds fair.
Our GPS speedometer on, set to 0. Predictions.
32.
I'm going 37, baby. 37. I mean, it's not crazy fast. It's only on 4S, and it is 6 scale. It's a big, unwieldy thing, and it is kind of hard to keep straight. So we're gonna see here. Yeah, not crazy fast, but those tires sound cool. It would have been a big bummer if that Jeep would have smashed it. That's a good lick. That's a good lick. Ah, all right, let's see what it is quick before the train gets here. You said 32? I said 37?
37.
Oh, yeah! Victory!
I didn't think it had that much in it.
Dude, I never doubted the thing.
That tire is looking pretty sketch.
She's got all kinds of big.
Oh yeah.
Finally, 4 days. 4 days we have been wrenching on this thing to run it for 10 minutes outside. And we think the rear diff is already starting to let go. So I don't know, man. But it was a good exercise in maintaining things.
Yeah.
buckle down, do it, and we took inventory of this place. Like, all the stuff that we needed to fix this, because, like, as we were tearing it down, we found all kinds of more problems, like that drive pin that shattered into pieces, the frumpy bumpy wheel nuts, things like that. The diffs themselves, it's like, oh, we have all the stuff to fix this. And it was good because, you know, it got us thinking about, oh, yeah, we've got all kinds of stuff laying around in different places. And we got to use some of that cool new Cow RC stuff that they sent us. I'll tell you one thing, the bearings in this thing are spotless. It's absolutely spotless. This used to be my, if you could only keep one, what would it be? And I would always say it was the Shredder. But now that I've been through this thing top to bottom, forward and backward, there's just so many little things where I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? So check the eBay listing in the description below, and it can be yours.
Check out your local Goodwill.
No, I still love this thing. Like, for as much as it let me down in this video, this thing has been the hero of the day so many times in the past, and it's not a big deal to change the rear diff at all, honestly. So we can throw another one in there. We've got enough stuff to build another diff, not a problem at all. And it was just fun to wrench on it, you know, hanging out with your buddies, hanging out with you guys on the live stream, wrenching on stuff, fixing stuff, discussing what we're gonna do with it. And what do you guys think? What vehicle do we have around here that you haven't seen in a while that you want us to pull off the shelf and get back to smashing? Let me know down below. There's lots to choose from. If you're into bashers, I'm gonna put a basher playlist right over here. And if this is your first time checking out the channel, welcome. I'm glad you found it. We like to do RC shenanigans like this all the time, and we've got some wicked stuff coming up, so you're gonna stick around. All right, guys, until next time, chopping shredders out here. Chopping them!